What's going on out there, everybody? This is the Bag of the Trash It podcast, where we bag or trash everything in the culture. I'm your boy JB, here with my co-host
Jamari.
That's right. And today is a special day for us. Why is it a special day for us, Jamari?
Something amazing happened today. The world changed.
The world changed.
The world fucking changed. You know why it fucking changed?
Why it changed?
Because this nigga Kendrick dropped.
King Kendrick.
This nigga was in a fucking, I don't know, Cuba with Tupac or some shit.
King Kendrick, man. Put some respect on my man's name, bro.
The nigga said, I ain't went nowhere. I ain't changed. I became better, nigga. I'm a better nigga now.
So if you have been under a rock or you don't know what's going on, we here to inform you. King Kendrick Lamar just dropped a brand new album. And this album right here is this would be his fourth, right? Section 80 count?
Fifth or sixth album. Let me
Section
fact
80,
check.
Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and then now.
Fifth. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this album for me, and I've only had to sit with it not even 24 hours yet, but I've been playing it like crazy. This album for me is his best album.
By far. And I was surprised for it to be his best album because To Pimp a Butterfly was such a great, amazing album talking about politics and the complexities of the black community. Yep. And this album is for everybody. Unlike Logic's fucking trash-ass album he released in 2017, this shit is actually for everybody.
Kendrick switched his flow every song. He switched his flow. The production was crazy. It was different everywhere. Like I was telling Jamari off the podcast, every song took you to a different place, whether it's in your life or in a location. It was the ability to put you in a certain setting wherever his mind was. He took you there, and he kept you there for as long as he wanted you there, and then he moved on gracefully to another track. You had features, Kodak Black. You had Baby Keem. This album is artwork. It's a masterpiece. That's the only way I can explain it. It's a masterpiece. He did everything. He showed you he can rap like your favorite rappers. He can put on the vibe. He can get the songstress who knows how to sing about niggas not being shit and eating booty.
And dick size questions, man.
Yeah, like tough. This is crazy, man. I was expecting something great from Kendrick, of course, because it's Kendrick, but this is next level. This is Kanye West level. Yes, I'll say it. This right here is going to put him above a lot of people if he plays his cards right. He is on the steps of being somebody that we consider like in that Kanye West atmosphere, Drake atmosphere, like when it comes to profit off of these type of things. Because with Kendrick's ability to be gone for 5 years, drop a poem back in like October, November, and wake everybody up and have people on the edge of their set, like wondering what the fuck is going on. When is Kendrick dropping? The man has no social media. He's off of TDE. He doesn't talk to anybody, it seems. And he puts out some, hey, real quick, we're going to go ahead and drop this track with Baby Keem. And then we're going to put out a little poem, a little message for people. And then we're going to drop the Heart Part 5 on y'all. He dropped the Heart Part 5.
Before the album came out. Like the week.
And gave y'all perspectives from men within the culture that have either been abused, went through abuse, are dealing with mental abuse. Like, this man is someone of the culture that needs to be respected on that level.
Put some respect on my name.
That, like, his ability to connect with people at this point in his career, like, everybody knows if you were a big Kendrick fan, you was always connected to his music. He has now just blew right past that. He's connecting with the culture in general. For him to have Kodak on there and for Kodak to rap to the level that he rapped at shows he respects Kendrick. He called Kendrick a legend. So he's at the level now where he's connecting with everybody in the culture, and this is going to push Kendrick. I'm sorry. Like, it's scary hours for Drake.
Drake, nigga, where you at?
Where you at, man?
Nigga.
Tuck the summer in. It's Kendrick's summer, man. Tuck the summer in. If you thought he was the conscious rapper and he had no club hits,
You're wrong.
This got everything on it, man. You can't say that no more about Kendrick. Damned had that too. Let's be honest. Damn had that too. To Pimp a Butterfly was what it was. But Damn he showed you he could do more than just, what he's known for. But this album right here, man, he's showing you, man, tuck the summer in, man. This is Kendrick. He's not playing, man.
Kendrick, with this album, I feel like he's showing us that he can do everybody's rap style. He can change the beat up mid-song, change the beat up multiple times in the song, and make it sound good. It's not... Some artists, I'm not going to say no names today, but they don't know how to produce a fucking beat to save their fucking life. Their beats be fucking trash. They rapping off beat like fucking Blueface. But Kendrick, with this album, he proved to us that he can rap like anybody. He can change his voice to sound like anybody, and he can make a song for anybody. This song's for everybody. There's something for everybody on this album.
Yeah, it is. It's a couple tracks for everybody on this album. His ability to change his voice to match the tone of the track, no matter what the track is something that a lot of people just take for granted. That is so hard to do. And for him to do it at the level that he does, man, it's amazing. Like, this is really, like, I haven't been this excited for an album in a long time. Like, it's been a long time. And I think Drake would have this same effect if Drake didn't drop so much. I mean, I'm actually glad Drake drops a lot because it's heat. But this is what happens, man, when you get one of these guys who wait a long time. Now, there's only one Kendrick, but this is, you get this type of feeling, man. It's Christmas. It's Christmas in May right now.
Nigga got presents for y'all niggas.
He got presents, man.
Cookies.
And he's giving them out.
Toys. Nigga, you're a kid again on this album. Nigga, you're 7.
He's showing you, man, this is what happens when you have patience and talent and hard work and you put everything together and you don't rush it. You do what you're supposed to do, man. You remain yourself. Kendrick has always stayed Kendrick Lamar, and now he's showing you, like, this is Kendrick's prime. Like, this dude has officially, and I know, like, people might think whatever, but to me, this is where we're gonna, like, with this project from here on out, like, we gonna start having GOAT conversations. We have to. The man don't miss. And he gives you a different type of album every time. And he's one of the few artists that's going to construct an album that actually makes sense. This is one of his greatest projects ever. And his ability to change the concept of what he was talking about. You have Section 80, you're starting out, and the songs and stuff, he's speaking from a perspective of a kid who's just trying to get on. He's grinding. Back seats freestyles and stuff like that. I know that was Good Kid, Mad City, but that's where it all started from. Him freestyling. You can go look at interviews where Kendrick is still, he's up and coming and he's rapping for everybody and he's hungry and stuff. And then you go to Good Kid, Mad City and you see the type of person he was and the things he had to deal with growing up. And then you go to Pimp a Butterfly and he's showing you, like, his artistry with that. And then he's going to Damn and he's giving you stories about, and the total package of everything he does and his ability to construct them different type of songs and make everything make sense at the end of the day. Like, this song, I believe that the word for this whole song, and he has a song named on the album, this is Savior. He's wearing the thorn crown, he's holding the baby with the pistol in the back. He's representing within the culture of what he is believing to be the savior, and how he is becoming the savior is he keeps his morale, but he needs to be the big stepper. That's what I took from this. He needs to be the big stepper, but he has to keep his morale. He has to stay who he is, but he has to be the best he can be to move to bring his family out of poverty, to create some type of culture that's different from what we're so used to. And throughout the songs, he has a song in there where he names a list of celebrities, and he says that so-and-so is not your savior. Just because so-and-so this is not your savior. Kendrick Lamar is not your savior. I'm my family's savior. I saved my family. You got to save your family. Like, don't look at me like that. And that's what I really appreciate about him, is that he's so open and honest. There's so much honesty and vulnerability on these tracks. And hip hop is in a great space. Like, as much criticism as hip hop gets from outside voices, this album shows we're in a great space. The man every song was over 100,000 views within hours.
It's first day.
Yeah,
the album
this
dropped
shows
today.
Like, people still care about hip hop, and I love it. I'm so happy today. Like, I love it, man. I love when the culture gets together and we celebrate someone who actually takes pride in creating artwork.
So when I hear old heads talk about how hip hop is dead and that music is not lyrical anymore and there's not a lot of perspective in music anymore, I don't believe that. I think that if you want to find good music, you'll find it. But if you want to find trash, you'll find that. But what Kendrick did on this album, his whole catalog of albums, you got like Good Kid, Mad City. That's him versus his community, like him versus the hood. Him on Pimp Butterfly, it's him. It's the black community versus America.
Now let's dive into that a little bit, right? Start with Good Kid, Mad City, and then I want you to explain to me what you got from To Pimp a Butterfly. So what'd you say about Good? What was your synopsis on Good Kid, Mad City? Like, what'd you just
what
say?
I observed from the album was it was him day-to-day life dealing with the hood, but he has a different perspective than everybody else.
Right.
So he can tell you things about the hood that most people wouldn't be able to do because they're on the inside of the box. Kendrick's on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. Kind of like,
still there.
Yeah, like Corday's album, from a bird's eye view, that's Kendrick's whole style of rapping. Like he tells stories that sound like it's him. Like on that, what's it called? That one song, "Dying of Thirst," "Sing About Me." He's rapping up, telling stories about how prostitutes and their life and everything, and how eventually they die out, but like he's keeping the memory of them on that song, and like that's a perspective I don't hear a lot of people do anymore. And like I just feel like Kendrick is putting himself in a realm of rappers that
now, and I don't mean to cut you off, and I'm gonna let you explain, but To Pimp a Butterfly, before this, we got to sit with this a little bit longer, but To Pimp a Butterfly was your favorite Kendrick album.
Yes.
Explain the concept of To Pimp a Butterfly, and then give me why that connected with you so much.
Well, in the black community, we deal with a lot of struggles and tribulations because of racism, slavery, and that album showed me the perspective that I knew for myself, and Kendrick had that perspective also. So I related to him because we had the same thought process on how the black community functioned and how Europeans pimped us. Like the definition of a real nigga is like he beats his wife, he out here in the streets, like
that's a stereotype.
We've been pimped to that.
Yeah.
Like we are being exploited for our talent, and it's a lot of internal fighting going on that we need to handle, and that really we are the same people. And the biggest issue is we think that like colors. See, I came with this colors.
Oh man!
Just because I got a different color than you, that makes me better than you, or I got a problem with you because you are part of that part of game, and like it's just colors is not a thing. There's a lot of concepts on there, colorism, a lot of stuff going on in the album.
From this new album, did you take anything, like was there like similarities from To Pimp a Butterfly to this one, or do you think that this was a completely different painting?
To me, this album was Kendrick. He was like, I'm done doing verses. This is not my perspective of...
And every verse was fire.
Yeah, like verses, like it's not...
Crazy.
It's not community versus me. It's not me versus... Damn was about me versus me. This is about culture and how us as people, we are stigmatized to believe in certain things because this is part of our culture. Like, we just... For example, working. Our culture is you work 5 days a week, 2 days off on the weekend. That's part of the culture. But if someone tells you, I only want to work 3 days a week, they'd be like, why are you doing that for? Right. Like, you're supposed to work 5 days a week, but why? He is making you question the social norms that we exist under. And that's what I see in the album. And he's trans people, everything. He's telling you to really like contemplate what's really going on in culture.
Yeah, this is man, I'm just super excited, man. This is something that like I'm happy to be alive in this time to see a project like this from an artist like this, like, because this is gonna be something that I'm gonna be able to tell my kids about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to brag about, you know, oh, y'all didn't have a Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't have a Kendrick.
I remember when Big Steppers came out,
nigga. Yeah, like, so this is like, this is that time for me. And then especially within our culture of labels pushing negative music, like with labels pushing beef between artists, beef between hoods, beef between this and that, you know, and all the negativity that gets pushed to basically saying like we're only going to promote you if you do this. And that type of culture that we feel like sometimes we're forced to make a certain type of music because we think that that's all that's going to get pushed. We have a guy like Kendrick who goes completely against that, and he gets this type of acknowledgement.
He has his own lane, and that's what I like about Kendrick.
And it shows that you can do it too. Like that's what I'm happy about the most is that I'm able to tell my kids, like, you know, yeah, these people are hot. No disrespect to them, but you also got this lane over here. You ain't got to be bang, bang, shoot them up, have 1,000 ops, you know?
You don't have to follow the culture that you exist under. You can create your own culture and do your own thing.
You can live your truth.
Yeah.
You can live your truth. You ain't gotta be something
you ain't gotta follow the crowd.
Yeah, and I love that. And I've always loved that about Kendrick, Cole. I mean, even like Drake, like those type of guys, man, because if you look at it, they're on Mount Rushmore right now. As far as like new hip hop, like, so, you know, like being yourself at the end, it's a long road, but it's going to work out better for you.
And I like how, talking about those three people specifically, they're not stereotypical rappers. They don't beef on Instagram with people. Yeah. They're not wearing big chains. They're not saying, nigga, I'm about to bust you. They're not on that really hood shit. I feel like Kendrick and Cole and all those people, Drake, they're making America see that black people, where there's more types of black people than just a hood perspective.
I think people know that, but I just think that it's easy for them to stereotype us that way. But that's what and I'm biased, but that's what I think makes us the most unique people, is that we're unpredictable. Yeah. You know, and it shows it with this album, man. Kendrick is extremely unpredictable. The man is so in tune with himself and who he is as a person. And even when he's unsettled about something or indecisive, he'll tell you about it. He's vulnerable in his music. And I wish we would hear more from Kendrick. You know, that's just kind of me just being a fan. I wish he would pop out a little bit more. But when he does pop out, we get things like this.
It's kind of like you and Kendrick gives you that like feeling of, he drops some fire, some flames. You'd be like, oh, I need some more Kendrick. But like he gives you that addict mentality, like, we dropping again, Kendrick. We dropping again. Like he the dope dealer for music wise. Where like he give you that medicine, but you gotta wait for it though.
Yeah, you gotta wait, because when it's real, man, you know, you can't make soul food in 5 minutes. You know, you can throw some popcorn and some shit in the microwave and you know, it'll satisfy your appetite for a couple minutes. But with things like this, it takes time to cook it up. So big shout out to Kendrick, man. Love the album. Absolutely love it. I'm so happy for the culture right now. We bagging this whole album, every single track. And I'm a big fan and it's funny because I'm a big fan of the 5 to 7 track albums, because I like things concise. I don't like to be listening all day to something. Like, if it's dope, you ain't got to stretch it out. But with things like this, man, if everything's hitting, you got to put it on there. This is one of my very few exceptions.
We want to say this is going to be album of the year.
Yeah.
Already?
Oh man, come on, man.
Already?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I
told you, tuck the whole summer in. It's a wrap.
Kendrick, to me, To Pimp a Butterfly was the best album of the decade. It's a lot of concepts on there people don't understand, but for me, I feel like Kendrick, if he does this again, another 5 years down the road, there's no question he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he's definitely in the man, he's in the conversation. Like,
we're going to have to move Tupac and Biggie out somewhere else because Kendrick coming.
Yeah, see, that's like that Michael Jordan effect, man, with them. You know, it's
time.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's just the era. But I mean, if you go back and listen to those albums, man, it's different. But man, it's hard to say like Kendrick's albums are better than Biggie and Tupac's albums. But to each his own. You know, yeah, Kendrick is definitely up. When I say GOAT status, like to me, there's more than one GOAT. But he's up there in that you gotta, when you mention the best, it's not just Pac, Jay-Z, and Nas anymore.
I feel
and
like
Wayne. It's you got to start throwing in guys like Kendrick, Drake. I mean, even J. Cole. You got to start throwing these guys in the mix, man, with those other guys. Because how much more do they got to do? Like Kendrick, bro, he don't miss.
It's the same thing with LeBron and Jordan. Jordan and LeBron argument.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like you're not gonna be able to, and you ain't gonna be able to. Jordan is who he is, and you can't. That allure of Jordan is too big.
Yeah,
the
thing that's with like LeBron has done way more than Jordan has done in his career because he's played longer.
I mean, let's not get sidetracked. We gonna get into because
I think I play longer.
I ain't trying to get.
But Jordan the GOAT though.
Today is about Kendrick.
Oh, we'll keep it Kendrick related all day.
No, we not gonna hold y'all up too long. We just had to come on here and say our piece about Kendrick, but that was one of our main topics. But that Jordan, we'll say that for one day. We'll do that.
All right.
But let's just talk about things. Few more things actually within the culture. There's been a lot of big news going on within the culture the last week or so since we've seen you guys, and one of the things that I want to quickly just talk about is rest in peace, Mr. Kevin Samuels. He passed away. We still don't know the actual. Well, we know the medical cause, cardiac arrest, but we don't know what happened there.
What caused that cardiac arrest?
Yeah. So rest in peace to him. And one thing I want to say, and then I'll let you talk, was hearing the criticism right after that man's death. That really kind of hurt me because it was our own women doing it. And this is a podcast about the culture. So hearing that, whether you liked them or you disliked them, that's never okay. Like, I want to say that. And I didn't agree with everything he said, but I rocked with him on a lot of things, I definitely did. Some things, even if I agree with him, I wouldn't agree to the level he did. I tone it down a little bit, but whether you liked him or not, man, you should never joke or play with the death of somebody because we all gonna end up there one day. So why make fun of a man? And that just proved his point in a way. Unfortunately for a lot of black women, it did, because you were so hurt that to get back at making yourself feel better, you would try to hurt a man who's not even here. So that means you're hurting the ones closest to him. They're the ones that are going to see that because he's not going to see it. So that was the underlying issue, was that you're making, like, I seen memes of him in heaven, and they're talking about high value heaven. Hilarious. I thought it's funny.
That's funny. Fucked up, but it's funny.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's wrong though. You can't do that because you got to look at, he's not going to see that. His family, his mother found out about his death on social media. So whether you liked him or not, you gotta you gotta have some type of level of respect. And most of the time, and I'll be honest, if you didn't like him, it's because something he said related to you.
It hurt you. It was some truth in that.
Exactly. Because, and I'm not gonna say it was all the truth, but some of that stuff, it hit you a certain way. And the man made content about men way before he made content about women, and for a lot longer, and nobody knew who he was because men don't get emotional about the things he said. It still hurts, but we're not going to lash out at him. And he actually had a video where he said, if I made content about women, I would blow up. And that's exactly what happened, because women are a lot more emotional than men. And when the man says something, of course, it's entertainment. So he's going to say something outlandish every once in a while to catch your attention. But you got to get through all the entertainment, all the bullshit, all the sound effects. Some of them sound, the pig shit and all that. Yeah. It's hilarious too. But hold on one second.
You can get good.
And you got to get through all that and look at what the man is actually telling you, because he knew that if he was just coming out saying what y'all needed to hear, but he was giving it to y'all with cookies and ice cream, y'all not gonna pay him no attention. Sometimes you gotta give people stuff without the sugar on it, and even though it tastes bitter, it's what's gonna heal you the most. And that's something that women in our community, they don't deal with it a lot, because we know to soften the edges up, because we try to protect them. It's protect black women. So we try to protect their feelings. With men, it's a lot different. We take things very direct from an early age, whether it's you got to be the man of the house, or from coaching, like if you play sports and stuff, you get things straight. Ain't no sugar on it. So we understand those things a lot more, you know, from most men. We understand those things a lot more. And that's something that women got to understand is that, did you receive his message? Did you hear him out? And if it really bothered you that much, did you research it? Because the man talked from logic and he talked from statistics. Every time I seen him, there was research involved. This was not his opinions. This was research. So if you didn't agree with him on something, did you look it up? Did you research it to debate what he had to offer? And if not, then you're just leading with emotion, and we gotta get rid of some of that. You know, we gotta get rid of that to heal. I'll let you go.
Kevin Samuels, he's been around for a minute, but it's just he's finally got popular because of the female drama stuff, like exposing that like there's a problem with dating. Clearly, there's a problem with dating. Like marriage rates are down. There's a lot of stuff going on with that, and like he decided to become a black leader. He's a black leader. He helped man and woman out. And people only want to focus on the woman part because it's interesting, it's entertaining. He's calling women out and everything, but he helped both people out, and both yeah, whatever. We don't consider that these days, but yeah, he helped both people out, and like I really enjoyed it, Kevin, because like he didn't care how he stayed composed at all times. He never really truly became as emotional as them ever, really. He always stayed composed, and I enjoyed that about his content, and he gave a good message. I think people missed the message. They misconstrued it because all the fun stuff, all the entertainment value of it.
He be on his bullshit too. He be on, but a lot of times it don't come unwarranted because women call in. He just match their energy sometimes. You know, you call in and you know, you call him. We all heard the names that people was calling him and stuff. And I don't know the man's sexuality. I never cared to know or anything. But
why does it even matter? To be honest?
Like we knew like so like. Yeah, he stayed professional, but he gonna match your energy. Like that's just what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It's entertainment at the end of the day. He had more subscribers than anybody else y'all listening to on YouTube. Like as far as relationship advice, that's just a fact. He is. Whether their message is better for you than his, the reason he gained more followers is because of the entertainment that he brought to the well, it would be considered a talk show. You know what he brought to that. You know. He did it better than anybody else in that atmosphere. That's just the truth.
I think his message was, what's wrong with being average? There's nothing wrong with being average. I think culture now, our culture has become, you got to be the best at everything. Like, you got to have the best. You got to want the best. You got to have the best car, best everything.
I would say, and I would dig onto that a little bit more, is what's wrong with accepting average when you're average? That's what I think his message was completely.
Yes.
So I think you're right. But I think that let's add that onto it because that's his whole channel blew up off him telling a woman you're average at best, right? Because this woman was an average looking woman who wanted a man who wasn't average.
Yeah.
And that's all he was trying to say. And that's where emotion got evolved because, he calling a woman ugly. But
he was being honest.
Yeah, he was being honest. And he was
brutally honest.
Yeah, but he's an image consultant. So he's not looking at it how we're looking at it. He's not saying like, from an insults point of view, you know, he's looking at it like he's giving you the facts. He's talking about, you know, he explained, you know, your facial features, the way this is set up. You know, he said, "What do you look like fresh out the shower? Your own hair, no makeup, no," and it's the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think women who are average are beautiful. You know, it's not just the women you consider 9s and 10s and stuff. Like average looking women are beautiful too, but. That's what he was saying is that if you're looking for a high value man, you know, and you're average, you should rethink that a lot of times because you might end up with your feelings hurt.
Yeah, because you're trying to buy something you can't afford.
Yeah, for real. And there's a lot of stipulations with that. The reason, like, I listened to his podcast, but not as much, like in the past, like 6 to 8 months or something, because like what I found out, and I mean, his podcast was cool, was his podcast it was meant for women looking for high value men. Yeah. So even though regular men got entertainment by it, I mean, everybody did, but he was speaking to women with high value men. So when he talks about the requirements that a man requires from a woman, like women get all upset because he's saying that like all men require all these things. And that's not what he's talking about. He's literally talking about 5% of men in the world require these hard stipulations on women. Most men don't require all of that. And that's what he was trying to explain. A lot of people thought like, oh, why does every man think that he's supposed to get this, that, and the third? That's not what he was saying. But I'm not here. I'm not his lawyer, and I'm not here to defend him like that. All I can say is how I feel, my opinion, and I'm pay my respects. Rest in peace. And was there any final thoughts you had on it?
I really enjoyed his content. I think it helped the culture a lot. It's unfortunate that he's getting his name slandered after death, and I hope his family will good thoughts. And
yeah,
prayers.
I wish the best for his family and his mother. And yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Ain't nothing we do but move forward. He was here for when he was here. He left a lot of great information for Black women and for women in general and for men in general. And you know, as long as his page is up, I would suggest people to go back and find value. You know, get out your feelings, find value within that, because the man knew what he was talking about. You know,
it may hurt you, but it's the truth.
Yeah, so
truth hurt.
Anyways, back to the scheduled programming.
Yes, sir.
I want to jump into something real quick. This whole thing with Young Thug and Gunna.
Oh no,
the Rico case. Two rappers that I
don't listen to.
No,
don't listen to.
I didn't listen to Thug when he first came out. I'll be honest.
I think it was
listened to Gunna when he first came out. I didn't listen to Thug when he first came out. But these are two guys within the culture that has had a heavy impact on the way people talk, the way people dress, the way they act, and the way you make music. So you got to put respect on their names. And they in a spot, man. A tough spot. I don't know too much about the case, but I know that Rico cases, you've been watched for a long time. The feds don't come after you until they know they can convict you. It's sad, but it's true. You know, and that's the hardest part. There's like 20 something people on this case. It's all bad, man.
You know what kind of do you know what this kind of reminds me of?
What?
Remember back on the Bloods and everything with Kuda B and those people in New York?
Yeah.
That's kind of remind me.
It's all I mean, that's all. It's the same thing. See, so like real quick, the one thing I wanted to talk about wasn't even them. It's and I'm not gonna say Young Thug's brand came from a street gang. I don't know that personally, so I'm not gonna put that information out there. But creating something with those around you in your environment to try and better yourself, and once you create an avenue like music and just continuing that branding, should that be something that police should be able to use against you?
I feel like it's a weird space to really like put an opinion on, because it's like they're trying to better themselves. They did it in a bad way, but the thing they were doing is a good thing, but it's just how you got it is bad. It's like,
yeah, but as far as like, right, so like I don't even want to talk about good and bad. I just want to speak on what should be law. And two things I don't think should be law is that you shouldn't be able to use a name that somebody uses and just take whatever you heard about that name and link that with the person that's the biggest person promoting that name, because you don't know if he knew about most of that. Like, you can't say that, oh, well, these people said that name, you know, in this state, and then this guy's on YouTube with 100 million views saying the same thing, so that must be related.
You can't. It's because the names are the same doesn't mean it has the same meaning for both.
Right, but the feds will link that together. They'll do that. It's that the
corruption.
Rico is basically like you're gonna catch the biggest fish on conspiracy, because they never gonna do the actual crimes themselves. So you're gonna catch them on conspiracies. You're gonna say, and you're gonna catch people who tell. You can't get no Rico case like this without telling. It's people telling. Like, let's be real.
People don't want to go to jail, baby.
So so you get conspiracy when you get people to testify against you that, yeah, he told me to do it. That's how you get these people. And then you associate everything that happened with that name, even though that person didn't do it. You can get him convicted based off of that conspiracy. And to me, that's not fair, because I feel like it started with the different mobs. It was their way of taking down Basically people in mob bosses who were sending out, allegedly sending out hits and things. It was their way of taking them out. But now it seems like it's more in the black culture than anywhere else. And I don't think that's fair, because you can't just associate things with people and put that on their name. Like, I don't think that's fair to them. And I also don't think it's fair to use rap lyrics, because if we not going to start, what if somebody make movies, right? If you make movies and you become a big time movie actor, can they come arrest you because your one of your scenes in your movie was like a scene that happened in your hood 20 years ago?
For me, I feel like they should be able to like use hip hop lyrics to convict people, because you shouldn't. If you are rapping about shit you did in the streets, like you talking about murders and shit you done, why the fuck are you talking about on a fucking track? Like,
okay.
That shit not cool.
No, that I understand. And when you're directly speaking about something that you did, and we've heard it, that came out, people have done that. When you're speaking about something you directly did and they can link you to that actual crime and prove you did it, that's different. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want to see a black man go to jail, but that's you dumb if you do that. But I'm speaking as far as like somebody who's just rapping about things that happen within their culture, within their hood. Because Young Thug never came out and said, hey, at this time of the day on this street, I shot this person. He's never did nothing crazy like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
They're using lyrics that just say basically that he's saying he does things or he did things or he's glorifying things that are within our culture that the feds consider illegal. But words aren't illegal.
You're saying that art shouldn't be
criticized the way it is. How are we going to have Elon Musk just bought Twitter to bring back free speech? Free speech. Like this stuff is annoying to me. Like it really is. I hate to see lyrics used against anybody. I don't think that's fair to him, but that's one of the things we got to deal with in our culture. And that's one of the pains and the struggles that we have to deal with. And, it is what it is. I love my culture. I wouldn't trade it for nobody else's. But these are things that, and I think that we need to bring more awareness to these things instead of just kind of saying, man, that's fucked up, and then forgetting about it. Yeah. These are things we need to bring up more because
actually do something about it.
Unfortunately, people from this case, and I'm not going to say Thug or Gunna, but people from this case are going to end up in a very bad situation, and it's based off of telling, snitching.
How do you feel about that?
Conspiracy, snitching.
How do you feel about snitching in the black community?
I hate it. And let me clarify what snitching is. Like, I got the same definition as most people. If you do a crime with somebody and you tell on that person to get out of that crime, that's snitching. If you seen something but you not involved in that crime, that's not snitching. That's basically how I feel about it. That's why I hate snitching, because if you voluntarily did a crime and to lessen your crime because you don't want to go to jail, you tell on the next man. I don't respect that. And the one thing I say too is that I hear a lot of people saying people are dumb for not snitching. To me, snitching ain't about being free, bro. Because it's about being free, but people think, if you don't snitch, ain't nobody gonna look out for you when you're in prison. Ain't nobody gonna feed your family. It's not about that. It's about your morals as a man or a woman. It's about that. It's about standing for something. It has nothing to do with what somebody else is gonna do for my people. Like when I say like I'm not gonna snitch if I did a crime, and I don't do any crimes, but if I did, if I did anything like that, like me not snitching has nothing to do with anybody else but my morals and principles as a person. There's certain things I would do. That's like saying if you see a kid getting kidnapped, you wouldn't go try and save that kid because of some outside reason. No, you're gonna do that because your principles and your morals as a person tells you to protect that child. It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself. That's my problem with what people are saying, like you should snitch because ain't nobody gonna take care of your family. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about you got to stand for something. And if that's what you stand for, if you in the streets and you understand what come with that, snitches come with that. So you got to stand on that.
That's kind of the whole thing Kendrick was talking about on the album. Like basically,
I like how you brought that all around.
Yeah, Kendrick was like, just like stand up for what you believe in. Don't say you like. If you do a crime, you rob a bank or something, and then your homie get caught, and you somehow make it through the day and they don't catch you, but then they finally pick you up later because they caught you on video and you say, oh, I wasn't even there and I'm with the woo woo woo. That's not cool. Yeah. It's not cool to not be a man about your decisions. Like, as a man, you got to be firm on your decisions. You can't be a pussy about it and say, oh, well.
It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself.
It's you.
That's it. You can't think about what anybody else is going to do to hurt you or benefit you. Snitching, at the root of it, it involves you and your morals and principles as a man or a woman.
Sticking up for yourself.
Exactly. Are you going to handle your business and accept your consequences, or are you going to fold?
An easy way out.
And get out of it. That's basically what it comes down to. And that brings us all the way back around to Kendrick Lamar new album. And it shows you that you got to have principles about yourself. You got to stand for something, and you got to stand for it no matter what people think. You got to rap the way you want to rap. Don't worry about how everybody else is rapping. Be yourself. Create the best thing you can create. And then you're going to get talked about on a podcast like this, and we going to bag it.
Or trash it.
That's a big fact. So that was episode 2 for y'all. We hope y'all appreciate it. It's Kendrick Day. I'm your boy, JB.
I'm Jamari.
And we out.
Peace.